Hello and welcome to the August 2023 numerology forecast. I am so excited to dive into this month and share some of the influences that we'll be experiencing in the time ahead. Why do I do this? We experience the lunar cycles, we experience different astrological things, we also experience energy through the numbers. And when we know what they are, when we can set ourselves up for success, it becomes easier to navigate. So for business, that's really important because we need to know when to create more space in our schedule. We need to know when to take action and really move the needle forward. And when we can leverage this to our advantage, we can create incredible results. So let's dive in. I'm going to talk about the month of August, and then at the end, if you are joining me live in the Facebook group, I will pull cards for you and we'll go from there. So August is a big month. August is a big energy and something that we need to be hyper aware of in order to make sure that life doesn't get in the way, that we don't get distracted, and that we don't become complacent. So I'm also playing with a new deck of cards today. Look at that. Oh, can you see? They look like money. So much fun. My little gold bar. Okay, so as we dive in, the month of August is a 6 energy, and collectively we are in an experience of Saturn. So Saturn is really about accountability, about staying true to our alignment, about not getting knocked off course. And so this is why I bring up the complacency thing, because the 6 has a tendency to be a little bit complacent, especially in the month of August here in the Northern Hemisphere. It's summertime. It's like, I just want to kind of go play and have some fun and be at the beach and forget that I'm also trying to build a business at the same time, and I got to post to social media all the time, and I got to do some things, and maybe I'll just launch in September. But if you're thinking about launching in September, August is time to get moving. Why? Because we have some really incredibly powerful influences that come in to help support us to move the needle forward. Because at the end of the month, things are going to slow down. And at the end of August, you are going to be in a place where it will be very difficult for you to move the needle forward. So we want to start now. So I'm a huge advocate for going to the beach. I'm a huge advocate for spending the summer holidays. And you can take action every day towards your dream. You can do both. So the 6 is really about balancing the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine. It's about harmonizing. It's about evening out the pendulum swing. So all 2023, we've been in this 7 energy that is trusting ourselves to take the leap, to really move the needle forward, to leap off the edge of our own proverbial cliff, right? So what does that mean? Well, in September, we move into that 7 energy. And September is go time, but you've got to get prepared for the journey now. So this is about temperance, about filling up your cup, about really resting, but also taking action. It's about both. It's about balancing that pendulum swing. Now, like I said, August is a big month, so I've got a lot of notes. So I'm going to be looking down a lot as I go through this. There's 4 really important dates in August to be aware of. But we begin the month with the Queen of Diamonds ruling 7. And last month in July, this month, I guess I'm recording this in July, but last month we had a full moon with a Queen of Diamonds ruling number 8. And now we have a full moon on August 1st with a Queen of Diamonds ruling 7. So there's a little bit of a significant difference there that I want to talk about when I get to the full moon. But we really want to focus on deciding what we want to experience and then be willing to stretch ourselves out of the comfort zone. So I brought this up at the beginning, no complacency, right? The 6 energy kind of inspires this like, nah, I'll do it later. A little bit of procrastination, a little bit of putting it off until September, a little bit of, nah, I'd rather go to the beach. But what we really want to do is take action. So we need to be balancing that masculine, feminine energy. This is about putting faith in your dream and then being willing to move toward it every single day. That doesn't mean you need to be sitting in front of your computer for 8 hours a day, 7 days a week. Please don't do that. Go to the beach, have fun, play with your kids, do the thing, and take one action step per day, every day for the first 2 weeks of August, and watch what happens if you do that. Now, the six also inspires a little bit of clearing of karmic energy. There's likely going to be some things stirred up, especially towards the end of the month. That six can be very emotional. The six wants creativity. So the six wants you to take those emotions and create with them. So and it also inspires a little bit of nostalgia, perhaps some inner child work. There may be some reflection in there as well. So thinking about the journey of this year so far, thinking about how you've been doing at stretching your wings, how you've been doing at trusting yourself and taking inspired action and moving the needle forward, and letting yourself sit with that in reflection. So there's a little bit of kind of wonky energy at the beginning of the month with that, as we navigate what does balancing the masculine and the feminine together. What does that mean to me? Have I been so far off in the feminine that I have been not taking action at all, and I'm just like waiting for my guides to give me the answers? Or have I been so far in the masculine that I've forgotten that I've got this thing called intuition, and I'm not taking breaks, and I'm not resting, and I'm not taking care of myself? It's time to harmonize and bring that into an equilibrium. So noticing, has it been all give, 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 give all year long, or has it been all take, 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 take? And really bringing in a sacred balance. That's what this month is about, so that we can run forward in September, because September, especially the end of September, it's going to be go time. But we'll talk about that when we get there. Okay. I always get way too hot, so the fan is going, and I'm hoping that I can not sweat too much. I also cannot see comments, so I'm going to just open my phone and make sure that everything is working. Okay, I see you. All right. It's about Okay, so important dates. Are you ready? Let's dive in. So, 4 important dates. August 1st, we've got a full moon, super moon in Aquarius, Queen of Diamonds, ruling number 7. Now, remember, I talked about the first full moon in July, which was the Queen of Diamonds, ruling number 8. Well, then I said it's about devoting and believing and really dedicating yourself to your dream. This 7 is saying, now it's time to take action. Time to do something about it. Stop messing about, right? And if you've been taking action, awesome. Keep going. Keep going. But this is really now about the willingness to leap into the dream and to start taking action for yourself, whatever that action is. And it might be like a big scary action, right? It's not about, well, I'm going to post to social media every day. If you've been doing that, then that's action, but it's already a habit. I'm talking about the big scary thing. Like maybe you are putting yourself out there to get the speaking gig. Maybe you're making that big scary phone call. Maybe you're choosing to make an investment and hire a coach. By the way, I'm a coach. Just kidding. I'm not kidding. I am a coach, and I am absolutely open to working with you if that's where you're wanting to go. Maybe you've been thinking about starting a business, but you haven't quite taken the leap yet, and now's the opportunity to go for that. Maybe you've been thinking about buying a house. Whatever that big scary leap is, now's the time to do it. Here's what happens when you take a big scary leap. It gets a little messy. Okay, so expect it to be messy, expect it to be uncomfortable, expect it to be terrifying, expect the butterflies and the nerve excitement and all of the terror that comes in the stomach. Expect that, but do it anyway. The creation and evolution process is never orderly, it's never linear, it never really makes sense, but you just keep going. I always think, so I'm a 5 of diamonds, and as a 5 of diamonds, I like to move things in the material space. Tyler will laugh at me about this all the time, is that he'll come home from work and I will have rearranged all the furniture in the house. The other day, I rearranged all the patio. And so what happens when I start doing that is everything's got to come apart first. It's all got to get moved, and there's dirt everywhere, and I got to sweep up, and I've got to move this over here and put that over there, and it just looks like absolute chaos. And then I look at the bigger picture and I start to go, oh, okay. And I can start to move the energy around. And this piece of furniture will go there, and that flower pot will go there, and this will happen, and then, oh, and then this and that blanket looks perfect there. And it all starts to come together. But that creative process starts with chaos. So recognize that, because the 6 is very creative. You are creating your new version of your dream. And so it might get a little chaotic, and that's okay. It's not supposed to be all straight and narrow and in a straight line and have all your ducks in a row. Okay? So we want to make sure for the first part of August that you are putting some systems in place to help you simplify. This is what I'm talking about with the balance between the masculine and the feminine. We want to have some balance as you go after what you want. So think, for example, if you are, maybe you don't have a booking system set up for people to book a call with you, and it's not automated, and so you're reaching out to people and kind of going back and forth, and maybe I could meet Wednesday, maybe I could meet Thursday. This would be an opportune time for you to put your booking system together, and I highly recommend Acuity if you're going to do that, and really making sure that you've got an automated system to make things easier for yourself so that you can balance the masculine and the feminine and spend more time at the beach, right? If you're not constantly on your phone DMing people trying to book calls, and you can just send them a quick link, it makes your life easier. So systems will set you free at the beginning of this month. So if there's a system that you need set up, do that at the beginning of this month. And if you don't know how, reach out to me. You want to make sure that you are being the captain of your own ship at the beginning of the month. Really choosing which direction you're going to set your sails and then go. Let the wind catch your sails and go. No complacency. Feel that fear and work through it and do the thing. So whatever systems you need in place, maybe you need a system for your money. Maybe you don't have any kind of system for receiving payment. Maybe you don't have systems for managing your money. Maybe there's some fear around managing your money. And so you need some systems in place to manage this, to manage not only your mindset and your emotional frequency, but also to manage the actual physical money. The coming in, the paying of bills, all of that stuff. If that's the case, reach out to me, because the 21 Days of Wealth starts August 14th. I'm going to set you up with all of those systems and help you navigate all the stories and all the stuff. Okay, but I'll talk about that later. Now, really focusing on getting out of your head and into your body. It's going to be easy to try to overthink things, to try to, especially when you're doing work like setting up systems and you're on the computer, we get up here. So make sure that you're only doing like 20 minutes of work, and then go stretch or go have some water or go do a little bit of yoga or dance around the living room and get into the body. That will help you to create, right? You want to make sure that you're doing something that reconnects you with who you are. That Queen of Diamonds energy is easy to do things because you think you should, or do things because other people want you to do them. Whereas instead, the Queen of Diamonds is saying, what's your dream? What do you want? And really focusing on that. So big energy at the beginning of August. And we've got more masculine energy coming in. And then I promise you, it's going to be all emotional waters and all the fun things at the end of the month. But this is why we need to balance these things out and take a little bit of that masculine energy and get that foundation in place, so that when the end of the month comes in, we've got Mercury retrograde coming in, you are set up for success. So next important date, August 16th, we've got a new moon in Leo, 10 of clubs ruling number 4. You're likely going to feel really fired up. Leo energy is like, let's do this. Leo energy is brave, it's courageous, it's ready to shine bright, right? So you might feel like you're ready to go, but because it's a new moon, you also might feel like you're spinning around in circles, or that you're trying to figure out how to get it all done in one day. So you might have this like itch to get going and to start moving forward, but you also might be frustrated that it's not moving fast enough. You might feel like you want to build it all in one day. Rome wasn't built in a day. I've built a lot of systems and technology stuff and automations and all this stuff, whatever's going on, whether it's your booking system, your financial systems, or, some sort of program that you're creating and you're building a sales page. It might not happen all in one day, and that's okay, right? And recognizing that there is some work to do before you see the results unfold. you got to build the foundation so that when the results come, like the finances rolling in or the clients rolling in or whatever it is that you're going after, you've got a solid foundation to hold that when it arrives. But you've got to build the foundation first. We can't just throw a house up and expect it to stand. It needs to have a foundation. And there is nothing wrong with a little bit of heavy lifting and hard work. I know that you can do hard things. I know that you are capable of a little bit of hard work, right? And if you don't know what that hard work is, or you don't know what to focus on, reach out, ask for help. This is what I do. I help people do this. But it's time to look at some of the more tangible pieces of your business and that foundation. So again, first 2-3 weeks of the month of August are all about that masculine, building the foundation, not being complacent, not procrastinating, not putting it aside, and really just knuckling down and getting it done. It's time to at least get some of your ducks lined up. You're never going to have all your ducks lined up. This is a big joke in some of my coaching circles of, sometimes there's a duck on the roof, sometimes there's a duck frolicking in the meadow, and sometimes there's one in the back of the cop car, but you gotta have some of them lined up ready to go. Okay. So this means some of your systems, some of the technology that you need to run your business. If you don't know what that is, like I said, reach out. Thinking about deliverability, thinking about your pricing, your marketing. How are you going to, if you're launching in September, how are you going to attract people into your program? How are you going to sell it? Do you feel confident selling it? These are all things that you're going to be inspired to be thinking about during that new moon. My nose always gets itchy when I do these things. I apologize. Okay. So Mercury retrograde is coming. So you want this foundation set up now, prior to Mercury retrograde. So if you are planning to hit the ground running in September, maybe in the fall, sometime in September, October, if you're planning to hit the ground running with something and you're launching a program, then now is the time to get that structure ready, so that you're not flailing in Mercury retrograde and technology's not working and you're trying to figure out how to promote and build a program all at the same time. Do it now. Leo is courageous, it's fiery, it loves to have fun, so make the process fun. I know that putting together systems isn't always that fun. I think I might be one of the only people on the planet who enjoys the process, but if you've got somebody who can hold your hand and walk you through it and show you exactly step by step what to do, it becomes more fun, and you do it in community. So if you're one of those people that are like, I don't know what the fuck to do, just reach out, okay? But do something bold. Do not contain your heart. Whatever that big, bold dream is, go for it. Leap. And be the CEO of your life, not just of your business. Go for what you want. You want that vacation? Book it. You want a big, amazing, intimate relationship? Put yourself out there. Do what you need to do to get the job done. Don't just sit back complacent waiting for it to be handed to you. Go after it. Be bold. Show up. Be visible. Rule your kingdom. And write down your big dreams and then take action, courageous action. Okay. Then we move into we move into Mercury retrograde. August 23rd, we move into Mercury retrograde. So this Mercury retrograde is likely going to bring up a lot of our perfectionism tendencies. So you've been building your systems, been putting your technology together, you've got things in foundation built for your business, and then you might start thinking, well, it's not good enough. I need to tweak this. I need to tweak that. And so you might start thinking that I've got to perfect everything before I can put it out there. So be aware of that. Mercury retrograde is really an opportunity for us to slow down and look at our patterns, to look at the stories we've been telling ourselves and to shift them. So expect delays. Expect things to take longer than they should. Expect things to be slower than usual. Communication, people might not respond to emails right away. People might not respond to DMs right away. People might not get you what you need. Tasks might take longer. Creating content might take longer. So give yourself more space, right? Technology will probably be pretty messy. It usually is in Mercury retrograde. So make sure you're noticing your frustrations and your impatience. I'm one of those people that I'm like, I should just click the button and it should do what I want it to do. And then sometimes it doesn't. And I have a pattern of getting frustrated by it. I'm working through that. And I imagine this Mercury retrograde is going to bring that up again, of really just being more patient and not losing focus on the big picture, not placing blame. Poor little Mercury retro. Mercury gets blamed for everything, the poor little guy, right? And not throwing a fit over the little details. Like maybe you're trying to create a graphic for something and it's just not coming together and you're like, and you freak out, or you spend hours working on it because you just want to get it just right because the perfectionism. Just let it go. Just let it go. Getting things done is going to be a little messy in Mercury retrograde. Do you see why I said get it done in the beginning of the month? So that when you get to the end of the month, you're not thrown a curveball because nothing's working and you got a launch coming the first week of September and you're like, oh, fuck, what do I do? Right? Get it done at the beginning of the month so that you can relax, knowing that you've got your foundation in place. So be adaptable, be flexible, be willing to be imperfectly perfect during Mercury retrograde. The Mercury retrograde goes right into September. Don't nitpick on the tiny things. Show up and be of service. That's all you need to do. If you've got a spelling mistake in your content, if you've got a grammar mistake, don't worry about it. Just keep moving forward, right? Imagine like your engine light is on in your car and you decide that the way to fix it is to polish and wash the car. No, this is about really looking at what's really going on and it not needing to be perfect. Prioritize what's most important. And most important is being of service and creating impact in the world. Okay? So you'll be revisiting some old patterns, making adjustments as you go throughout that 3-week period of Mercury retrograde. And there's a slowing down at the end of the month, which again is why I say do the systems and the tech and the masculine stuff at the beginning of the month and then balance out the pendulum with the slowing down at the end of the month to prepare for September, because September is going to be a little wild. Okay. But how you nurture your audience when the going gets tough is going to show up for you in Mercury retrograde. Technology's not working. I can't go Facebook Live. I can't get this video to post. You're going to notice your frustrations with that, and you're going to either go fuck it and go to the beach and be complacent, or you're going to find another possibility and another avenue, or you're going to try to make it all perfect and never get it up in the first place, right? So just notice these patterns and hold your commitment. Keep your promises to yourself. If you said you were going to launch something in September, then do it now. Get down and do the work. Hold the promise to yourself, put things in your calendar and get it done. Don't allow life to get in the way. You know, this is one of the things that shows up in my program a lot with with the coaches that I'm supporting, is that how do I continue to do business when life gets in the way? It's simple. It's not easy. It's simple. There's a lot of work that needs to be done prior to. You need a strong foundation. You need to know that your business is an expression of you and you don't quit. You don't quit on yourself. You hold your promises to yourself and you keep going even when the shit hits the fan. So, what I know to be true is that shit always happens. It's how you deal with it that changes. Just because you do self-mastery work or any of this emotional mastery work doesn't mean that all of a sudden it's rainbows and kittens all day long. Shit happens. Yesterday, I was doing a Facebook Live and literally 10 minutes prior to the Facebook Live, a super triggering message came through and I had a choice. I could either let it throw me off and not do my Facebook Live and then beat myself up all day for letting life hit me, blindside me, or I could choose to focus on what I wanted and where I wanted to go. And I showed up live and I rocked it. Okay, so don't let life get in the way. If you need help with that, reach out. Okay, next important date, last important date, August 30th. We've got a full moon in Pisces with a ruling 9 and a 9 of hearts. And it is a super moon. This moon ain't fucking around. I'm a Pisces. I know that energy very well. It is the deep emotional waters. And with all those nines showing up and it being a super moon, create space. Do you see now why I said at the beginning of the month, get shit done so that at the end of the month, you can create more space for yourself? Don't force anything. Your mind is probably not going to be working at the end of the month. That full moon is going to create all this fog. The Pisces energy is foggy. You don't know what the fuck is going on because it's supposed to be intuitive. You're not supposed to know in Pisces. It's this sacred pause at the end of the month as we get ready for September energy. So take the pressure off, take the foot off the gas pedal, allow yourself to be a big old sloppy mess. It's totally fine. There's nothing wrong. This full moon is inviting you to let it go. Let it go. All those nines saying you have done the thing. You are ready for what's next. You are ready to begin this journey that you've been preparing and building the foundation for. Now rest, my friend. Rest, release, let it go, have a good cry. You don't need to have it all figured out. Watch some sappy movie. Let yourself have that good, ugly snot bubble cry. And ride out the storm of that full moon so that when September comes, you are ready to rock and roll. August feels intense. It feels like a bit of a wild ride. It feels like there's a lot of emotions coming up to the surface. There's a lot of karmic clearing coming up to the surface. And there's an opportunity here for you to get some foundation built for your business so that when September hits, you are ready. You are confident. And you are not going to give up on your dream again. Okay? So in that full moon on August 30th, an idea for you. Create yourself a bit of a date night, just for yourself, or a date day, or whenever you can get away, and create some space for yourself. And really create a ritual around it, whatever that looks like. You don't have to light candles and burn sage and recite spells unless you want to. You can totally do that. But create a bit of space for you and do something for yourself that you, quote unquote, never have time for. And give yourself that space, whether it's for writing forgiveness letters, whether it's for some sort of full moon ritual, maybe it's just a nice Epsom salt bath or a bubble bath and a glass of wine, whatever it is, but create that space for you. Because Pisces energy is extremely intuitive, and the veil will be very, very, very thin on that full moon. And there is an opportunity for new information to come into your heart and your energy field. It will not come through your mind. It will not be in thoughts. It will not be in contemplation. It will be a feeling that comes through. And it's an opportunity for you to really take the next step for you and your business and your life. So, masculine energy at the beginning of the month. Get shit done, build that foundation, don't fuck around with it because you're setting yourself up for spaciousness and lots of feminine at the end, lots of that fog and intuitive work at the end of the month. So balance out, find the harmony, take action, and then rest because September's coming.